math, it ends up being a 9% draw ratio, which is fair, but definitely LeStream with a big advantage going into this. Viel Spaß, mein Freund. Good luck, by the way. Oh, well, viel Glück, but it's pretty close to it. Wow, crying. Well, Aces, by the way, is German, so Mr. Maurice is being bullied a bit, but Dokkaebi being banned, not surprising at all. Pretty strong operator on this map, on Villa, and it's a map that gets played a decent while in Europe, that's for sure. Maverick being the second operator removed. Mira, not surprising, although doesn't really have the biggest of effects on Villa specifically. And then at the end, Meister or Echo, right? Echo, not surprising. So we still have Glaz.
Yep, still have Nomad. So different attacking operators that are banned out, but the defense operators, they remain the same.
And you know what the cool thing about even Nomad being removed or not being removed is that in this case, this is a map where you can, if you're playing on Trophy, you just vault over and you drop down, and you can evade a lot of the setup that the attackers might have ready for you. It comes down to timing and information at that point, but you have a lot of flexibility in the stuff that you do. I know, you look at Villa, it's a very rigid map, but there's a lot of things that you can do on the defense, but on the offense, you're going to hear me repeat this because I haven't casted EU since, like, January. And it's time for me to hammer it home again. Please make sure you go through bedroom. You are an attacking team on this map. Specifically, you're attacking the set here in Aviator Game Room. Don't just push through the office from the balcony. Go in from the other side. The balcony, you're going to hold it for a long time. Nobody's going to push you through there. If it does happen, that's a 1 in 1,000, basically. Go the other way. Make sure you can really pin those defenders down, because if you don't do that and you give them ways of maneuvering around the map, oh, you are going to feel those flanks.
Hicks bringing a Clash. This is our first instance of Clash of the evening.
Yeah, we saw the Bikini Body Clash being run before. That was beautiful. You see her? Oh, you know the reference?
No.
Oh, man. So this is what Bikini does, and I love him. Bikini is a good friend of mine. Basically, he plays Clash. When he wants to put away the shield, he puts it away, but then 180s, so his opponents shoot the shield that's now on his back, and then 180s back as he has the SMG in hand and sprays you down. And when you're playing online, that is the worst thing to come across. It's scary. It's scarier than a Blitz.
Well, this is a slow peek here. KS, it appears, outside of the master balcony window, and Uno holding it from across the way. Nice kill holes opened up here by Aces with the Bailiff, and oh, just narrowly exposing the head. It was actually Corey on the sledge. Opposed to KS and Thatcher, and again, oh my, a whole train of Navi attackers, but it's Corey! Oh man, what a shot. Threading the needle onto Uno. Just the most interesting caravan of attackers passing by that window, and no one able to collect other than Corey right now. Sending 2 members of LeStream to their grave. Rise, though, will trade 1 back. Corey looking for 3. Can't quite connect, but Laza will be the one to take down Alfama. So now it's Rise and Hicks way off site. They're still trying to defend the opposite side of the map from the objective, the bedroom that you were so intent on having them push through.
It's almost as if it's a strong position to play. Hicks find the kill on Corey. 3v2 with lots of solo on HP, and because you want to move through some pretty close-up doorways, having the Clash in here is going to be huge. Obviously, it doesn't give you the same level of firepower that you'd like to have, but if you can CC correctly, and CC is crowd control, if you can run that well, then you can really have the advantage go your way. Cryan will finally be taken away off the Zofia, perfect operator to be used against Hicks. I wonder how Rips will try to use his Nomad here, because in this case he's running the AK, which doesn't always get run. The RX200 does a substantial amount of damage. It's actually surprising how easily it downs people. So the AK isn't always what you would go for, but you get the bonus of having double the magazine of the ARX. Jaeger's going to get spotted in the back, but will Hicks even be able to do anything against this? Well, he's going to take control of 90. A pretty good spot. He'll find the Thermite, and damage to be done. Oh, the Thermite's so low. Lotso, he's going to go down. Oh, he's dropped on the floor, and now they know where the last man is. Oh, man, LeStream have such a big advantage in this one. Hicks are going to try to go for it again, but the pickup is already done on Lotso. The Thermite with 20 HP. The pickup has been changed. Obviously, not the same as you had back in the day. You already hear one air jet being used up in 90. Damage done from the back as Hicks is just taking it and taking it to his face. Rise will find the kill on Rips. That's all she wrote for now. Round number 1. NaVi tried to take control of Bedroom, but LeStream were there and chasing the dream.
It looked questionable. I won't lie. Hicks and Rise heading over to Trophy and that connector to head towards 90. That looked questionable as hell. Completely abandoning site in a 2v4 at the time. It was a 5v3 for NaVi, then a 4v2, and it all fell apart. Honestly, you got to commend LeStream for the full commit on that. The full rotation from Hicks and Rise to head over to Trophy and continue to contest and waste time, and then covering that diffuser as well. Rise has a brilliant round. His maneuvering of the map, like you said, the rotations. The map itself is kind of rigid. There's a lot of hard walls dictating where you can and cannot go. But his maneuvering of the map and maneuvering of what was available to him, it's quite remarkable to watch. He was able to chew through a lot of those NaVi members as they tried to recollect the diffuser and recollect themselves, honestly, on their push across the map. So, a big man advantage and a strong start to the round for NaVi squandered, and now we find ourselves with LeStream. Up a round, heading now to their second defensive objective in 2 rounds. This time it'll be Trophy and Statuary.
What I want to do as well is kind of refocus everything. LeStream might have won that first round, but again, this is Villa. This is the most defender-sided map. So, you know, getting a majority of rounds on here is not out of the question. It's kind of a requirement. So, if you're a NaVi fan, don't fret too much, because this is what's kind of supposed to happen. Maybe not in the same way that, you know, it happened, but still, I like this from NaVi. They just move in from the opposite end. It's not just about, you know, taking in from Bedroom. It's about attacking with part of your operators from the other side of the map, making sure you're always trying to tighten the noose around the neck of your opponents and not really leaving them with a lot of room to breathe.
So, NaVi again looking to implement the same kind of strategies, just in the inverse, pushing from the Aviator and Games Room side over the top floor, pushing from the south side to the north, try and push through the corridors. Still have Chaos and Lazo out on the balconies, trying to contest with anyone maneuvering inside the site, but they do have an issue in that they don't have a Hibana, and honestly the Hibana getting impact tricked on Villa is the #1 reason why she's not being run. Thermite, though, won't be able to open up unless they can clearly establish control of Master. However, Corey has tried to push in directly up against the statue, and he's running directly into Alfama's shield now, picking up the mantle of the Clash. The impact's coming in from the lifeline of Cry, and now double stacked in behind. Finally, Lazo jumping into Master, so they have that control, and they evade the Nitro Cell. Uno playing the pulse downstairs will miss a crucial explosive blast from lethality from below.
A bit of damage done here, but at least Uno's going to be able to scurry away. And no, he's actually going to double down and play from below. So they're going to have a ton of information here, LeStream, even if they don't have an actual Nitro Cell. It's still around. It's still around, but you just can't realistically use it. I don't know if you can even pick it up from this distance. Aces will fire on down, and the wall had already been opened. Hicks is going to use a C4 in this case, actually. And it'll connect. Cry and take it away. And that's the Zofia. So now those Evil Eyes are going to keep where they are. And at the same time, you will have to worry about EDSs in the back. Corey will find the kill on Aces still. This team can do this as KS will go for the plant. He'll stop for a second as Hicks and Rise will find 2 kills, 1 for each. Kiss and Rips, last 2 alive behind the wall. They don't really have much in the way of maneuvering, So here the AR-33 of KS connecting, takes his head, Rips will find another one, and it's all up to Rise. Low at HP, one basically left. Can he deny the diffuser? If only he spots it. No, he runs away. And not much time with not much health as well. He'll have to hit the shots perfectly and come around. The air jab will be set perfectly by Rips. And that's Raj taken away. NaVi, it's a pretty impressive way of kind of coming back in this round. And all thanks to the air jab.
That looked like it was going to be another run there for LeStream on the counteracting. The Nitrocell teamwork downstairs was beautiful between Hicks and Hicks and Uno. So, well played to the both of them, but it doesn't garner them a round win. It was a 3v2 advantage. By the time that plant was starting to go down, but Chaos and Rip, both with excellent kills to leave Rise alone. Rise has been doing a lot of work so far on the Jaeger. His roaming, he's been last alive for his team, or one of the last members alive in back-to-back rounds now. And he's also been doing a tremendous amount of damage, whether it's him collecting the final kill or not. He's been doing a lot of work, just running around inside these corridors, bouncing up and down between the windows. 4 kills for him already through 2 rounds, and 3 for Hicks. Unfortunate circumstance there for, I believe it was Aces last time on the Maestro, because Hicks was playing the Valkyrie downstairs. Had a shot lined up on Lazo as he turned the corner and just couldn't land the headshot as he tried to push in through the door for him. And that's what really started to set off the engagement for NaVi, trying to push in for a plant attempt. We talked about it in the Empire game earlier on. It just seems like a couple gunfights go the way of Secret and maybe rounds turn the tide. Same situation there for Aces. If he lands that shot, maybe it's an entirely different story for LeStream. But nonetheless, they're still drawn right now at 1-1. They get to defend the site once again before either being forced off of it because of a win condition or being allowed to go back to Aviator and Game Stream should they choose to.
A big change for LeStream this time is they don't have the Valkyrie. They're running the Legion in this situation, which will give them more ways of kind of detecting how the flanks are going to run in the meantime. Obviously, the Legion just can do so much work, and Corey, oddly enough, running the Commando with no ACOG, which for a lot of people is kind of a gun that works very, very well with the ACOG. At the same time, they're not sacrificing Rips on the Nomad. Also using the AR-33. I know a lot of people are not like big fans of it. AR-33 with angled and ACOG is surprisingly good. It just has a pretty big effect if you're able to learn how to run it correctly. A C4 will not connect as I believe Uno still playing downstairs and rotate back up. No, actually no, that was not his Nitro cell. Huh, then it was opened by the Zofia. Okay, it's just in case there's a pulse downstairs. I can see the mindset of this, but Corey will start chipping away at the barbed wire, and the site, though, is still untouched as Uno plays the back.
Still got Rise. He's flexed himself downstairs right now, down the astronomy stairs. The flashbangs come in to try and burn out any ADSs, and won't catch anything. The impact trick from Aces here as they bring the Legion. Be successful one time around, and now looks like Lazo's going to try and crouch and put us a little bit lower, but that's not really going to do anything. The splash damage will be enough unless Aces throws this a little too far wide left. It's coming out now, and the timing just barely at the final possible millisecond will bring that down, and Corey's been dropped down to below 10 HP now as he tried to push his way in through the statuary connector once again. It looks like that was actually the Nitro Cell from downstairs that nearly claimed the life of the IQ.
Yeah, you can see the Nitro Cell being expended by Uno. Does not have that in his back pocket anymore. And still playing in a position that is oftentimes forgotten about all the way in the wine cellar. As he keeps moving up the main stairs. Hasn't found anyone just yet, but I believe he's already heard. Oh no, the drone does not detect him. This can actually be huge. That's the late round flank drone. And if Uno is able to take it away, then that's really going to slow things down. He does spot it, but does not want to make any sudden movements here. Rips is locking down. I believe that he has the pulse in hands, but Aces will fire in. He'll find 2 kills before Cryan is able to move in and take him out. That's a lot of damage. The Thermite that had not been able to do much has been taken away, and this is the rotation. Uno will come in, grab 2 kills, but Chaos is ready. not ready enough. It's Rise to clean things up for LeStream. As he said, Uno can do so much, and more often than not, Uno does not fail and does not disappoint. LSE comes in and finds the last 2.
So, looks like yes. We'll be going for a rehouse. Just had to wait for the confirmation there, but we're going for a rehouse. Quick little soundbite. It's 2-1 scoreline right now in the favor of LeStream. They bring one back now. Trophy statuary. Interesting to me right now, the contrasting mentality and ideologies for the defense right now for LeStream. For defending Aviator in Games Room, they're very, and I mean 5-man invested on defending Master and defending that ingress from the parallel horizontal plane of the objective. When it comes to LeStream's defensive trophy statuary, however, they do not care about the opposite side of the same horizontal plane. They care more about verticality, and it's so much so that NaVi is able to get into that connector to statuary within 30 seconds. It's happened in back-to-back rounds. So it's an interesting point to see LeStream caring so desperately about the opposite side of the same floor the bomb site's on for their Aviator and Games Room defense, but then seeing the turn to verticality for the trophy statuary defense.
It's because when you're playing on that site, specifically in statuary and in trophy, you have an easier access to the wine cellar from a place that's easier defended because you have astronomy stairs to your side on the defense, right? Yeah. You don't have to worry about it as much. So rotating down to the wine cellar and then back up to play inside of the living room, all of that is more accessible for you as a defender, which is what you saw with the Valkyrie being played before. That wasn't that successful, but having Uno in that location, being able to drop down as well, do damage if he wants to with the Nitro Cell, which he pretty much did, run back down to the wine cellar, move back up from the other side, and know that there's going to be a flank drone there because you're expecting that. It makes sense that there would be a flank drone specifically in that position. You already drone out the site. You already received the damage from the Nitro Cell. You have to worry about him. Unfortunately, the air jab that was set up was taken away. It was a bit too obvious. There's many positions closer to the floor where you can set it up where the pulse would not have been able to detect it and wouldn't have been able to take it away before or as he's walking up the stairs. There's many of these small changes, and I really want to highlight this for Nomad. Small changes in the positioning of the air jab can flip around on its head. Yeah.
I mean, if Uno doesn't come for that flank, it still looks like it's going to be a LeStream round. But man, he really put a nail in the coffin there on that round, rushing through and knifing the planter, turning for a second. Honestly, if he was ADS, he might have got the third one on KS too, which probably would have made one of those play of the week highlights we like to show at the beginning before the countdown finishes for the show to go live.
I wonder what sort of highlights we're going to have for Monday, Flynn.
That'll be an interesting one.
Generic term number 7. Very well said.
No, it's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
I have to review things.
Yeah.
I've been looking up too much of my my notes. Though, what's the date of Monday? I don't know I don't think you know either. No. I don't know if somebody is in chat right now and you're hearing. We're waiting for the rehost to be ready and then make sure that everything is set before we start with the game. But can you please remind us what date it is for Monday? And if so, I don't know if. I don't know what kind of plays we're going to have or what sort of stuff that we...
I think it's March 32nd.
32nd. Thank you very much.
There we go.
So Nailed it's a good thing. And it's perfect timing because our game is going to start off. Before we head into the game, though, we need to make sure that all of our rehosting stuff are kind of set and ready.
Make sure everyone's happy and there isn't another thing that popped up while we were setting.
There's literally no way to make sure KS is always happy.
That's true.
I miss him. I really do.
We're looking pretty good.
Good to see him at TwitchCon.
Yeah?
Let's go into game.
Sure, that'll be nice.
Ish. 2-1 advantage as we speak for LeStream. And again, they're playing defense on Villa. I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah. It's like you said, the most defensive sided map as far as the statistics go inside of Pro League. And a 6-pick now. So you've seen LeStream bring the clash 3 rounds consecutively, 4th round now. They go back to AVG, or Aviator and Games Room. They flex the clash and reveal, and they 6-pick off it. It's Uno 6ing to an alibi. We've also seen a marked amount of alibi so far on Villa.
Oh, it's almost as if she has a good gun and good stuff to have and good utility that actually fools people more often than you think.
Anyway, so Uno's bringing the alibi. Lots of soft destruction and manipulation of the map. You've got 2 bailiffs as well. You've got Hicks on the Maestro with the bailiff. You've got Uno with the bailiff on. Well, an alibi, you've also got a 3-speed with a pretty good gun, and the impact grenades. You've got 4 impact grenades on the side of LeStream, and I imagine they're going to be a little wary of NaVi maybe swapping up the take, and after realizing what they had with their 5v3 and then 4v2 advantage, and then still stalling out and all dying in the Master before it came down to a 2v2 outside the objective, maybe NaVi will rethink and try and maybe put a little more pressure towards the study balcony in tandem with a Master take. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening so far.
All right. Cass again with the AR-33. Again, not surprising at all. I think it's a pretty good and underrated gun, especially with the setup that he has with that angle grip. Just allows you to snap aim onto everything. Pre-fire through the wall, but won't find anything through it as Rise has moved away. And just comes back again. Cryan will find the first kill on Hicks. The Maestro. What? Oh no, he went for the window peek in office. Yeah.
Oh, he ran out the
Even
balcony.
worse, what are you doing?
Well, Corey's also going to collect another body and put him 6 feet under. Rise will fall, and obviously the MVP of the game so far for LeStream. Rise with that 416 has been monstrous. You still have 2 members of LeStream stacked over by trophy. Aces and Uno leaving Alfama alone on the objective. A rotate coming out now for Aces as he's going to try and return to the objective and support Alfama. As NaVi, like I said, they start with this Master take, but now they leave KS over there alone, and everyone starts moving their way over to study after they get those early picks.
Obviously, the big thing for NaVi is because they have that man advantage, they can start thinking and focusing on really constricting everything over the defense here. So they can move into control of 90. They can also have hold of close to trophy and bedroom. So a lot of things that are and options that are open to NaVi. I really would love to see that.
It doesn't
move, and no! NaVi will find the kill on Aces, and you're saying it doesn't what?
It doesn't work. If you're in the vaulting animation, it won't yeet you anywhere.
Oh no.
Oh well, it's still a 5v2 advantage right now for NaVi. A peek coming out now prone for Uno as he tries to evade the purview of Rips on his window. KS will be down, but an immediate trade from Corey will now have another one on the round. Uno will take Rips off of his rappel and flicking, almost getting another one. Vaulting up now in the 90 on the turned over cabinet, whatever is in the hallway. But it's Lazo completing the plant inside the objective. It's a 1v3 retake on just about half HP for Uno as he's sprinting down the hallway. He won't even check the corner. Corey, another body to add to the count. Having a huge game so far is Corey as well as we equalize once again. That is NaVi taking another attacking round on the Villa. Still at 2-2. Still possibility for NaVi to stretch a bit of a lead here and be impressive on their Villa attacks.
2 rounds on the attack is not too shabby. That's really like an okay spot to be in.
Yep.
You got a third one? Oh man, that's a 50-50 half at the end of this is.
It's kind of like Clubhouse.
Yep.
You come away Clubhouse 3-3, you're laughing to the bank.
And it's even more. It's even more sided to this way. I think it's like 59 or 60% compared to like the 56 or 57 for the defense. But there you go. Mute's got to be in play for this round. Habana, in exchange for the Thermite, huh? Okay, so this is basically, it's just to counter the amount of impact that you've been seeing, right?
You can really only get that bottom portion, but it's enough to try and put a dent in the armor.
Exactly.
It'll get you there.
Because unlike the Thermite charge, you're not going to use the Habana most of the time to open up the big hole that allows you to walk into the site. It'll give you the lines of sight that you need to lock down rotations or take away players in power positions off of the site, right? All of that together works very well, and I really like the change in the strategy and having all of these floorboards basically destroyed. If you're wondering why this is done, it's just so the Thermite can't put the charge on the side or on the side of the floor there and just use that to destroy the wall next to it, because the Thermite charge basically has an AoE effect. Unlike the Habana charge, you see that, for example, on Oregon when you set up the thermite charge on school, and it opens up the hatch next to it as well. Just a bit of a heads up. This is like a 101 to, you know, playing thermite. I know it's very basic, but not everybody knows it, and I hope that's, you know, enlightened at least a couple people.
Another alteration of the ideology of their defense here for LeStream, as they've backed off on their horizontal plane defense on the far side towards Master and Statuary. They've again pulled back and gone for verticality. You've got Rise with potential to have a Nitro Cell. You've almost 99% sure you've got Uno on a Nitro Cell, because if that Pulse has barbed wire, we got to have a real talk. He's got the Nitro Cell, thank the Lord, and now it's Alfama and Rise downstairs. Try and help him out. A little bit of pressure there applied from Chaos outside that front door, but he's not going to try and contest 3 bodies of LeStream, as it's NaVi trying to read the new setup from LeStream and counteract it.
No, all that Chaos is trying to do there is just basically hold on to rotations, and that's about it. This will allow his teammate, in the meantime, Corey, to move in from below, and they can just shut down their opponents through that. But Chaos will come off the angle. In the meantime, you'll see the ping come out for, well, on Alfama. So they know now where the clash is, and they can kind of set her down in that position as Corey kind of advances very slowly. But you see the clash running up the stairs. This, I hope, does not fool NaVi into thinking there's nobody around. There's still 2. Uno's looking to pounce, and Rise is up close as well. Perfect here from LeStream. They gather the information on the player above, but not the one below. Rise will go in for the quick flick, but not much damage has been done to Corey. As I say that, Rise will finish him off. Somehow is still alive. Where is KS? Is still watching the lobby, and nothing really passing away from him. Tries to pre-fire onto the Mute, who's so low on HP, but it's Uno to find the C4 and take down Cryin. Good round so far for LeStream as they keep the Mute alive and the C4, the Nitro Cell that he has in his back pocket, as well available as he's playing close with the Pulse.
Terrifying prospect here for NaVi as the round continues to dwindle away from them. A double Nitro Cell, one cleaning up a down, but the other one onto Lazo. It's all rips alone now in the study in a 1v5. A fruitless effort as Uno will cut him down from behind with that UMP rotating back up the stairs. Good switch up there for LeStream on the defensive setup for Aviator and Games, and it'll net them another lead. We go back and forth on the defensive side right now for LeStream on Villa. The last round of the first half between these two teams, and it looks like we're going to be heading to the living room and library. Another quick little change up here for LeStream as far as their defense. They do not want to try and go back to the trophy and statuary.
I really have to commend Uno for his play. If it weren't for Uno being able to give out that information, those Nitro Cells would not be hitting as efficiently as they are. The information that's being relayed between all the players at LeStream as well has been very clear. It's not always the case, but in this situation, it's just all comboing together, and just being able to give out that info is really helping out the team. Uno this time going on to the Rook, as in my opinion, this is kind of the weaker site on the map. If you look at this from like a pure standard reinforcement style, you are always lacking one reinforcement, and you have to see where do you sacrifice that. Do you want it to be more around the office? Do you want it to be more around the small art gallery? But I like this. So much destruction being run, and it's just because you're bringing 2 shotguns. Both the Mute and the Smoke have so much flexibility, and you also have the Bailiff on the Maestro for the smaller bits to be taken away. I like the position as well here for the Black Eye. Overall, this is a pretty complex setup by LeStream on the defense.
I've seen a couple other instances of this site being run before, and it seems like every single team has their own little twist on it. Every single team has their own little take on it. There hasn't really been established one universal, this is how you hold living room and library on Villa just yet. Seen a lot of vertical pressure so far for LeStream before, and it seems like they have a lot of horizontal rotations preset, but it might just be a maze they're trying to trap NaVi in, as there is quite a bit of verticality for the placement of the LeStream members. Rips will be the man to try and hold down rotations from this main door at the bottom of the south stairs once again. NaVi pressuring from the south side, which is usually the more reinforced side of the two. Typically, you leave that one soft wall on the south side more towards the kitchen door at the bottom of strong stairs.
I really wonder what these reinforcements are really being used. I don't know, Mercy, if we can go to Floorcam and check things out on the opposite end. Yeah, so they choose to reinforce by the office and by the art gallery, and also put one by piano. This allows Uno to play the position that he's in. Lotso actually try to open up that angle, but KS will find Hicks on the opposite side of the map. They're sacrificing their position as well around the bathroom here, LeStream, because they only have one reinforcement in there. This can really backfire later on. Oh, the Zofia so close to aces as he runs away, playing all the way up top. KS will find another one. It's a pretty good start to the round for NaVi. It's less than half the time remains. The thermite charge going off. Grenade lobbed right into aces. Run away at the last second and take no damage from it.
Now it's Fama dancing around and trying to evade the constant holes being chewed into his ceiling. And now Rise whipping out a shotgun will be downed. Try to airline shooting forward to collect another kill. But Corey will send him down. It's Corey also from above using the SMG-11 to take down Alfama and KS, removing aces from play. LeStream surrender 3 on the defensive side. We level at a 3-3 scoreline.
And KS with a 3K at the end of the round as well, holding off those rotation positions. And you saw, maybe if you're looking on the outside, you're like, why is the thermite destroying the wall in piano? The reason why you have that wall is because you want to rotate down into the wine cellar. Use that advantage of having the red stairs available for you. And when you have that, you can rotate away and not have to worry about people shitting in you. And if I really want to draw a comparison to this, you can look at the break room on Border, where it has that angle directly from the break room into 90 and into the rotation into Armory as well. This is what they were trying to do. So LeStream, theoretically speaking, had a very sound strategy. Unfortunately, when it came down to the gunfights, KS was just a bit too strong for them to deal with, and it kind of all fell apart. 3-3 at the half. You're NaVi, you're looking up, you're like, hey, we got 3 on the attack on Villa. That's pretty darn good. Let's see if we can chain them on here. But what's the reaction from LeStream? They run aces with the Nomad, who actually can do quite a bit of work with that. But they also run Uno, interestingly enough, on the Ying.
One of those operators we saw was in the top 5 of operators that were banned, and we mentioned that even when a Ying is banned and let through, the most common pick in other regions, but there are members throughout EU that have honestly...
No, break it, Lotso! Break the glass first!
So I'm pretty sure that's just client side on the view.
I really hope it is.
Because basically anytime I've ever tried to put down an Evil Eye onto something that breaks, it breaks behind it when you put it down. So I think you're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they change that?
I don't know.
I
put it down on paintings and windowsills before, and
okay.
Destructible thing behind it always breaks when I place it.
I really want to make sure if Han Solo is watching right now and he'll know who he is, please try that out and let me know what happens before I get home, because now I'm very curious. But ARX being played by aces, obviously you're letting go of more the firepower for just more damage. Habana will open up one angle for the Zofia to look all the way down, and it's an LMGE, something that is not surprising for a team like LeStream. There's actually a couple teams here in EU, not just Necrox, that runs the LMGE.
It's a different look. It's a different beast, honestly, but 150 rounds ensures that, honestly, in any round in Pro League, you're probably never reloading. And the impact shot coming out only got the top row. So again, you've got this tiny little hole, but it's enough. Try and hold down some rotations if you're prone. A wide P coming out from Lazum. He'll lose half his HP for it. Honestly, if Uno had a faster fire rate weapon, that probably could have been his life taken away. But he'll escape with a little over 50 and back off to safety and hopefully not make another aggressive peak like that for the sake of Navi's defense.
NaVi, though, will find the kill on Hicks. That's KS. I'm not sure what Hicks was trying to do here with the peak. Already expended 2 of his, the 2 impact grenades that he had. Or the 2 Gizmots, the stun grenades that he has. But there was no information for him to play off of. move, and Alfama just walks on in and nabs Corey for free. Uno up close with the Candelas in hand. Last one has been expended. The Bandit goes down to the floor and is quickly this. Oh no, Lutz is right behind him, and I really hope that Uno knows what was going on here. Oh, not again! Lotso from behind! He'll nab 2 for free, and the Maestro is just sitting in the corner.
If anyone out there wonders why a lot of people immediately go prone when they get flashed, it's to stay out of visibility for dumb things like that to happen, where all Lazo does is go prone in the corner, and Uno walks right by him, and LeStream...
He was behind a softball.
Unfortunately lose the round in turn. So it's NaVi again, showing us what the defensive side can do on Villa. A Capcan coming out in reveal phase for KS. He's going to stick that. It looks like it, yeah. Cryan's going to 6-pick off of the Vigil over to a Pulse. So not only flexing the Capcan inside of reveal phase, but also sticking to it. Also surprising that NaVi aren't electing to go AVG or Aviator in Games Room.
We don't call it AVG.
Typically the primary.
No.
NaVi don't care. Going Statuary and Trophy as the first, and then downstairs to Library as their second.
Short hair don't care. Reminds you of the squirrel in Ice Age for some reason.
Did I say library? I think I screwed up.
It's the living
library. It's kitchen.
Kitchen. It's a library. There's knowing that this is an Italian villa, there's probably a couple of cookbooks, which makes it kind of a library. There you go, solved. Please call me for any legal advice.
All right. I guess the big change up here is, again, it's the Capcan for KS, and it's going to be deployment as well for NaVi. We saw a lot of verticality on this side of the map from LeStream. Not so much there from NaVi on their defense. A lot of members playing on site. Really only one member downstairs was the Jaeger Corey, who maybe didn't have headphones on last round. And Alfama snuck up behind him and got a pretty free kill. But, ooh.
Oh, I like
nice
it. Because you only need the one laser, right?
I think you have to... Is this the...
It goes through it. Yeah,
oh,
that's the one rotation.
Okay.
It only needs one laser to show up to basically tag you. So, KS, if he makes a wrong move, this can... I want to vote this to be in the top plays, but Cryan's going to connect and Rise is going to fall. For some reason, it just ends up Rise falling. We don't even plan for these sorts of word plays, but there you go. No more EMPs to run with.
It's precarious here for Corey. He's going to take the angle with the shotgun up against a lower rate of fire LMG and Hicks's LMGE on the Zofia. And he's going to back out knowing he can't win that no matter what the rate of fire is on his weapon up against a shotgun that close. You're down a member already, and it's your Thatcher with the EMPs, but nothing really available to trick with, and a very, very botched Nitro from KS. That was stuck in the rafters.
He was trying to destroy the X-Kairos.
You could just send it over anyway. The splash damage of the Nitro cell would have got it.
I think the splash damage did get it.
Works out all the same.
Yeah, weirdly enough. Mute Jammer spotted and taken away. But Corey's still in here. Someone needs to drone for Hicks in this situation. With a shotgun, if you're not aiming at the body, you will really feel this. In the meantime, Uno's coming in here. We'll check the walk-in closet, but it's lots of... Elysis comes in from behind and finds him regardless. And almost so close for that Claymore.
Hicks baiting out the shots here from Corey as the Candelas will rain out. The breaching charges as well. Alfama will rip through rips, and there goes KS as well. Oh, a little bit of team damage, but in the flurry, it's LeStream grabbing site control. Cryan inside the closet, but they hit the EDDs. Alfama, though, will remove the head of Corey, so it's all Cryan alone now, and he's not going to get very far at all. Held off in the doorway by Aces, and LeStream bring another one back on the attacking side. It's a rather even game on Villa. We're still deadlocked at 4-4.
These are two EU teams that know their stuff on Villa. I'm not surprised at all. And it's not like this is an underplayed map. 2 weeks ago, LeStream were playing on this. They played it against G2.
Also, just props to NaVi for how well they've played in this game against LeStream, the #2 seed right now in EU, looking to, again, extend that gap, because they still do have a little bit of a lead right now. They have a 4-point lead over G2, the currently third place team, right beside Penta, and both of those will play next. I mean, LeStream's trying to extend that chasm and move their way up the standings and try and further guarantee themselves a spot in Milan. NaVi are doing a pretty good job of playing spoiler, and again, they're in one of those relegation spots. And for any team down there, it's about survival. It's about just because if you're in one of those spots near this point in the season,
in EU more than any other region,
you're done for. You know you're done for. At that point, it's just strictly, we don't want to be in the 7 or 8 spot. And NaVi really only need a few points really with the trajectory that Chaos are on. And we'll see them play against Mouse, who had a pretty bad game last week as well. You know, there's a chance here that NaVi and Secret can both come out of it. NaVi probably more likely than Secret. Take it one game at a time right now. Even if they just get 1 point out of this, they hold LeStream away from getting their easy 3 that many people would have predicted because of the 63-30 split in the community vote. Props to NaVi for the way they've played so far.
Alrighty. Corey, in the meantime, just setting. I'm always curious as to like how these sorts of like stairway setups come in on Villa, because there's so many of them, right? Kind of have to worry about quite a few. Now this is why an operator like Legion is so great to have as well, but in this case, LeStream are not really focusing much on the opposite end of the map, at least not so far when it comes to taking control of Bedroom. They're just going to go for a more standard one, especially not wasting any time, taking control of 90, you know, taking control of the office. These are things that are much more easily done. And with correct droning, you can send in a couple players from the opposite side, take control of the island, take control of Bedroom. And what Ace is going to try to do here is set up the air jab, a great spot as well. Much more difficult for the defense to find than what we saw being set up against LeStream only a bit ago. Bit damage done to the dock in the back, but he'll fall back.
And Rips will overheal himself just to boost himself back to 100 for safety concerns. And now more EMPs coming out onto the walls as looks like Alfama wants to try and poke a few more holes in these reinforcements that NaVi have set up. So the contention on the far side not really doing a whole lot to deter NaVi from holding their angles and holding their control of the real estate on the far side of the map. Waiting for Hicks to try and make this play and jump in as it's going to be Ace that is really repelling him through 91. No, that'll be a big difference maker, but a slow peek there from Hicks will decapitate Corey. The Jaeger gone, the Candela's rain out, and here comes a very early push from LeStream. Uno, though, very low on HP. A flurry of shots come out. KS will grab one, but Ace is on the trade. Cryan is also down, so at least KS and Lazo left alone. Lazo now the sole remaining survivor up against this Hibana hole. Peeking Aces, but finally will win out. Alfama, though, will grab the down and the finisher onto Lazo, and it's LeStream again. It's back-to-back attacking rounds for them, and now they're in the driver's seat, if only slightly, up 5-4.
Someone had to win the round.
That's math, yeah.
Oh, wait, but you can get a draw.
You could. We just haven't seen a draw in a round in Pro League
once.
In 5 ever. We've
had like once.
Yep.
5 ever.
5 ever.
Is that one of those like Aurora XD?
No.
You know, the girl comes up to boy.
Stop.
He says,
stop. It's trophy statuary for NaVi. I'm not even letting you. It's trophy statuary.
I
for
won't
NaVi.
love you forever. And then she goes away, gets run over by a car. He's like, I will love you forever. And I'm like, oh, I cry at RT if you cry every time.
God damn it.
Cod and Bandit played in this one.
I tried, chat. I tried to save you.
You can't.
I tried.
You can't. It's the old joke machine.
Like I said, it's trophy statuary. Only one possible Nitro Cell being elected to be taken for Cryan. They also changed up the strategy quite a little bit here. No Maestro coming out.
Yep, that's to get the Cod basically in this play.
Yeah.
To exchange that, you get the Rook. You lose out on any cameras.
Yeah, it's
which is
a lack of intel.
I would have expected the Doc to come out, not the Rook in this situation. But maybe they're expecting a lot of grenade play. I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, I don't see why you would run the Rook and not the dog. I mean, the bulletproof camera is pretty good to have, unless I'm mistaken.
Especially if you're gonna not elect to run, or if you're gonna run the impacts on Rook as you should, and then use them in prep for setup. It's made a little bit of a maze over here by Aviator and Games Room, and you've got Rips playing 90 with the rotate through the vault door, and it looks like right now LeStream are gonna be sending 3 in through that study balcony with 1 repelled in the 90 window. So this investment of utility and manpower on the far side could be quite beneficial here for NaVi to try and equalize once again. Just the structure seems a little questionable when it comes to the operators chosen.
Okay, Ace is still in the same position. You kind of can see a pattern evolving here from this team as Uno's on the Ash this time. Not a signature operator for him, to say the least. A lot of damage done to Core and actually eliminated. Well done by Rise. Now they can go in and take it. All the angles are open, but Cryan and Rips will find the kill each, and Uno botched up. Bites onto a bit more than what he can chew. Suddenly, look at the amount of damage done to NaVi. It's just no kills landed at all. That has to be disheartening for this team.
I don't know if the Rook armor would have completely been to thank for this one, and oh my, another dangerous rotation attempted for Cryan as it's being cut off by Hicks right now outside of this window. Toxic Babe, the first one will come out from KS as Alfama tries to push into the bathroom, but Rips and Cryan in the olden days could have been reset to 50. Yeah, not anymore. Maximum is 20, and air jab's placed now for any rotations coming out. The Electroclaw spotted and taken care of by Alfama as they still have a minute to convert a site execute.
It also has been splotted. I mean, it's called a Tila, which is like it's an arachnid. So it's splatted as well.
For the love of God.
I'm trying to save you here, man. Aces will sniff in a bit more of that smoke. Who knows what's inside that canister, but it definitely is enough to do some damage. Oh my god, KS taken down half HP, and he's basically on equal footing with the rest of the team. Now it's down. Latso, though, will find the kill. Not many people use that AUG, but he's going to get spotted as well and downed. Aces should be able to finish him off. There you go. Technically turns into a 2 versus 2 as KS is still out of play. Yep, he's behind the black box. And Hicks will be able to move in. There's not much time left. No, that didn't go! Hicks, what are you doing? That's the wrong guy. He'll find Aces, but no one else. And keep knocking and knocking, but no heaven to be found. Goes in for the plant, has to stick it. Rips will come in and rip into Hicks. Just, what are you doing?
That was very, very winnable.
That was the biggest team kill round throw since Norengo.
I was going to say.
That was pretty big.
Last one I can remember
that was a $200,000 team kill.
Last one I can remember that was that monumental was SI for Norengo. Yeah, that round looked very, very winnable. And you're in technical 2v2 and you have a massive health advantage. You have Hicks with that LMGE freshly reloaded. Dude, you could plant and then just keep tap firing a door for the rest of the round and probably win just off of the pure suppression and not having to ever reload. Oh. Unfortunate there for LeStream, because while they are in second place kind of comfortably right now, at least 1 week's worth of comfort, you definitely don't want to slow down at all right now with G2 coming hot on your heels and really everyone else close behind in EU. It's a very, very tight race for that number 2 seed. Last thing you want to do is slow down right before you get to the finish line. So we're guaranteed to go the distance here. Whether it's a draw or a win on either side is yet to be determined. It's NaVi on the defense now after being successful. Maybe not of their own doing, but hey, they get the round regardless. We'll head back to Aviator and Games Room after winning trophy and statuary.
But now, how is this going to really change things up? Is this going to turn into a tie? Is everybody going to have the worst predictions week in Pro League history? Everybody can predict Empire. That's not a complicated matter.
The rest of them are much tougher.
Yeah. All right. How will LeStream play this? Aces moving in with the rest of the team around him. They'll open up the main entryway, destroy first camera, but a lot of damage has been done to Rise. That's pretty free, actually. Who didn't take their Rook armor? How does this even happen in professional play?
Well, I don't think they're really caring too much right now, considering the damage they've done to both Rise and to Uno. A brilliant start here for NaVi as they try to guarantee themselves a point, and again, try to dig their way out of a potential relegation spot. Right now, if the season were to end at this very moment, oh, and there goes a Kaid trick on the wall. Yeah, looks like Lazo's right up against it, and he's pulled back his claw now after he's gotten the X-Kairos pellets taken off. And here comes the EMP that won't do anything, as you've still got both Electric Claws in the back pocket here for Lazo, and here comes the Electric Claw again, and an impact trick coming over the wall. It's a fruitless battle here for LeStream.
Just still breach something.
Nice little donut hole.
Always look on the bright side of life, my friend. Uno, the flash around here as Aces will penetrate into 90 from the window. No one to be found at the opposite end of it, as kind of been evac'd completely by NaVi, having that huge manpower advantage. They're running players from below, but nothing is connecting. And Rips will find it. As I say it, Hicks will get taken away. Similar setup to what we had last round. Bandit trying to come up the stairs and will get swiftly taken away by Aces. The Cotton is still alive, and Lotso, the coach, is doing so much work. Taken away, and the two players that are still down on the floor. Now it's the Habana to try and come in and plant. Lotso cannot shoot anyone through this, and he'll find the back of the Cotton. Still in a 1v1 situation. Look at the amount of time that's left. Can go and plant in the side. No Nitro Cell available for Corey, but he has the shotgun in hand. And if there's no information to be given back to Corey, Alfama is going to have an easy spot here to just play the long angle games. And he plants in the perfect position right behind that vault door. It is all so well done by Alfama, an extremely intelligent, underrated player in Pro League. On the similar level to Corey, and actually that one Habana hole ends up working pretty well in the advantage of LeStream, because now Corey can't use it to vault in. The soft wall did not have any effect on NaVi's round, except for a very negative one. Not much time left, as the Mute will have to come in and try to save the day. You want to consider to get that one round on the board, but Alfama will miss the shots. So little time left. None that is available for you at the end of this. Corey cannot defuse it. He can just stick it all he wants. It's not going to be enough. There you go. Finds the kill. And LeStream get the round.
LeStream also guaranteed themselves a point,
which is pretty good. Now they put themselves at 18.
Minimum.
Which is obviously the minimum, as you say. But on top of that, G2, who are right behind them, are at 13 points, which means now they are 5 points away. Even with a victory today from G2, they would still need another win to go beyond LeStream, not a tie to go against them. Because if you look at the aggregate so far between, or the head-to-head aggregate between G2 and LeStream, it is a perfect 12-12. I know. It's that crazy. And I know it's very difficult for everybody to understand because there's so many numbers involved. But G2 and LeStream are tied perfectly. The divide between them is on pure round one basis on every single game they've played.
Yeah, it goes from head-to-head to just overall round differential.
And how are LeStream's games overall? They've been... They haven't been as one-sided as you think. I mean, one game against Secret, overall pretty close, but G2 haven't had a perfect run as well. I think their 7-0 against Chaos is definitely going to help them out. And it's going to give them a lot of points to run with later on if they do end up tying perfectly with LeStream, because how it works is you're tied in points, you're tied in head-to-head, well now your tie-break is just with pure rounds won. And I'm really excited if we get to that level, but it just shows you how the fight at the top is close in different ways compared to regions like Latin America or in NA. And we'll see a Capcan being run twice. Huh. Yeah.
Is that a double Claymore out the window? Wow, they just,
if the first one won't kill him, the second one will.
Just in case you like predictively vault and shoot the Claymore before it detonates. I guess if you've got
Dude,
one on each side, so you're screwed.
If that happens to me in ranked, I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Got Uno at the bottom of these stairs, and the peek comes out from KS, but again, that T95 unable to collect the headshot or enough damage through the body shots to be lethal. KS will escape to safety. There's pings coming out through the walls on all of these drones, and a completely blind Lazo will be removed from play from Uno. So they got KS in there battling and winning it out against Hicks. Now open wall will be his demise. Uno with another one with the T95, and now it's Cryan, Corey, and Rips to keep themselves alive in this match to come away with any points possible. It's LeStream right now in the driver's seat up 4-3 in man advantage.
3 Nitro cells still in the back pocket of NaVi. That's quite a bit of firepower that you have, and that doesn't require you to really flank around. So Nomad's effect on the round is not going to be as significant as it would have been normally. And Aces is still pretty far away from the actual site. He moves up close to the pantry, but to move in from there, that requires a bit more. And he actually has no air jabs left, interestingly enough. There's only 1 Candela left, and this is going to be used to just enter into the memorial room as 1 Nitro Cell is going to get used and follow up with a kill. Cryan will find one, but Aces with the refrag, all up to Cryan, who's still alive somehow. It's being shot in the back, and LeStream will find it. NaVi to go down. LeStream with the 12th round being won, and that's a 7-5 victory for the mixed French team. GG, well played.
Good job there from LeStream, honestly, to come away with the 3 points in a game that looks like it should be easier based on standings. I think community vote also reflected that with the way people are feeling the teams are at. I don't think it's fair, though, considering the way that NaVi played. It was a well-performed game from them on both sides of the map, whether you're on attacking or defense. Both teams played quite well. It was a hard-fought match, and honestly, I think it was a lot harder and a lot closer of a match than a lot of people were expecting heading in, given the standings and given the play from NaVi in the first half of the season. Yeah,
not many people would expect KS to be on top of the scoreboard at the same time, so it's kind of a double whammy in that situation. But I really have to commend the overall plays from NaVi, but also LeStream and how Uno was playing. Uno was on fire this whole game. He might not have gotten the most kills. I'm not sure, actually. You should have checked the scoreboard again.
Well, there was a rehost, so the scoreboard would have been skewed.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of work because his roam on Pulse, the information being fed, and the fact that he could switch from a support player on defense to more of a spearhead on attack. That is very impressive. Not a lot of people can actually do that, but he keeps doing it and keeps being pretty successful in doing it, except for when he comes up against his kryptonite, which is Team Empire and Joystick.
The other thing I really wanted to highlight there was the back and forth nature of that game. You can see the counter-stratting maneuvering constantly between the two teams. It wasn't always the same setup being run. It wasn't always, you know, the same defensive setup, honestly, for the same objective. We saw multiple iterations from both teams on their defense and their offense on what their ideology was and where they wanted to push from. I think when it came down to it, the LeStream just had a tiny edge there when it came down to those clutch situations or the ability to draw back the rounds where it looked like they never should have won it. You know, that first round, honestly, is a beautiful example for LeStream. You get down 5v3 and then 4v2 in that first round, and then that first committal of the Jaeger from Rise and Hicks on the Clash to send all the way over. It's another one of instances where you see the small differences between the team, but I don't think second place versus seventh place accurately describes these two teams.
Very, very true. And these are two players that have played together for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
These are people with a lot of experience, not only in general in professional play, but also together as a duo. And that's the sort of thing that puts you at #2 in the region. And now with 3 extra points, you're at 20 points, Empire at 28. G2 are now 7 points away from LeStream. Not only do they have to tie LeStream, but they have to do it by beating everyone, including Team Empire in 2 weeks. If G2 is able to do that, I can see the comeback. But LeStream's games next week is against Mousesports. The one after it is against Chaos. And then on April 19th at week 13 is when they play Empire. So they can collect points barring any sort of comeback.
You also got to talk about that Empire game, because we're predicting at that point Empire will have clinched based on whether there's losses throughout or they just simply win their next game against Penta. Does Empire really care at that point, or is that looking like a freer game for LeStream? You know, you're in a scenario right now where LeStream could possibly bank a lot of points consecutively. They've got a lot of their harder games out of the way. It's looking pretty good for LeStream to be the second seed. They're in a wide margin right now in second place.
Let's have a quick conversation, though. A quick stroll down with Rise, connecting with us from LeStream. Bonsoir, Valentin. How are you?
Bonsoir. Very well, and you?
I'm pretty good. I hope your drinking nights with Fabian were pretty cool as well. He's been sending me quite a few pictures as well. But otherwise, I don't think it's had anything more than a positive effect on you and the entire team. Today was, a tough fight versus NaVi, as Flynn was saying. It was a very back-and-forth matchup between you two on Villa. A great map for both teams. But I want to highlight the way you guys played the clash. So I'll take you back to round number 1, where not only did you run the clash, but also committed quite heavily onto the defense in Trophy against Bedroom when you were playing an Aviator. How did that round play out in your mind? And was it just set up in a way to surprise NaVi in round 1? How was it played?
No, it wasn't really a surprise for them. Like, we are used to run the clash on Villa on this specific site. I think they really played that site very well because they win it like the second time we played. They are being aggressive on the other side of the map, which not really allows us to help each other because they are playing from outside, and it's really hard to pick people at the windows on this map. So yeah, basically we won the round because they didn't regroup soon enough, and we could get that small peaks with the clash with the infos really quickly, and then like fall back on site and hold the site. They didn't even breach or whatever. So
they couldn't breach at that point, right? There's so much pressure on 90 that the clash was able to put on there, and it was extremely well done, I have to say. I want to highlight also a second player on the team, Uno. Alexi did extremely well this game, not only in terms of kills and the effect he's had in frag power, especially on the attacking side, but also on the defense. I mean, seeing him on the pulse, being able to roam around the entire time, get off flanks, shut down Nomad air jabs quite a few times, and relay a lot of information. How is the communication having Uno on that more support role, the pulse, on the defense? Because you saw him when you guys went to the attack, he plays the Ashe and the Ying, and he turns into the spearhead. That's not something that a lot of players can achieve.
I'm pretty happy that you say that because Uno doesn't like to play Pulse on Villa. he's always complaining about it.
It's specifically Villa,
I'm
right?
Kidding, I'm kidding. No, he doesn't he doesn't do that. But I think like a Finnish player on UMP is still awesome. Like you can see Jonas, for example, playing Pulse. It's awesome. And yeah, Uno is really doing good with the Pulse. Like not even with the weapon, but also with the sensor, as you said, is bringing a lot of info on this map. And Pulse on Villa is, in my opinion, one of the most important operator to pick and to give the right information about the direction of the attack. So yeah, this is really doing good. And like, I'm not surprised he's doing good with the UMP. He's just a monster. That's all.
You focused on the pulse in this situation. I want to take a look at another operator on the attacking side. The Jackal was distinctly not present in this entire game. Is there really any reason for it, or were you just focusing more on the Nomad instead of the Jackal?
I think we were more focusing on the Ying than the Nomad, because you can run a Nomad with a Jackal at the same time. It's not really like Nomad is still a flank holder, a good flank holder. It's just a different of game style we decided to have against NaVi. We decided this like at the beginning of this week. We were like, hey guys, why wouldn't we try Ying in our comp? And it's working pretty well so far. So maybe we should bring more some.
Except for the one round where you pushed Trophy and Lotso was standing right behind you at the soft wall and sprayed two people with the Maestro. I'm like, where was the drone in that situation?
We still struggle a bit with it.
It's a work in progress, right?
Yeah, of course.
It requires an Operation Health. With that said, Rise, anything you'd like to say to all the LeStream fans? Because you guys are getting very, very close to securing your position at the Pro League Finals in Milan.
Exactly. Well, to the fans, I really want to thank them again because they are amazing. The support they are providing is amazing, and I also have like a word to tell to Fabian. Just wanted to tell him that like there is no Pro League spot.
My biggest concern is LeStream translating their success online to offline performance if they do end up qualifying. Empire's victory, or a potential victory for Empire against Pentasports next week, would give them that W confirmed 100% the team to go to LAN first, but we still need to wait a week for that. With that said, Pentasports versus G2. Which is which? That's our game coming up next. We'll see you in just a few minutes.